and injuries on the nation's highways. In the same vein, the Corps Marshal also congratulated the Muslim Ummah and wishes them a blissful, peaceful, and safe driving experience as they transit across the nation to celebrate with loved ones. He called on the monitoring public to adhere to the lessons of Ramadan and the teachings of the Prophet by imbibing patience, avoiding recklessness, ensuring that they drive within specific legal speed limit on all roads, as well as desist from overloading of vehicles and use of trailers to convey passengers. The new electricity tariff, guests on Good Morning Nigeria believe if diligently implemented with transparency will help boost investment and energy efficiency in the power sector. They urged power distribution companies DISCO to ensure customers on Band A removed from government subsidy are not shortchanged. Lydia Sampson reports.
As the new electricity tariff is, experts believe it is long overdue. While on the same page that cost-reflective tariffs reposition electricity generation positively across the value chains, they are unanimous that visible challenges in the sector must be addressed.
For the power sector, I think very strongly that we need to look very closely and determine whether it is a bullet we want to bite or we want to wait until the sector completely collapses on our head.
It is not fair to be somebody that has no meter. I mean, it has to be a priority. Even before all of these price reviews and things begin to happen, all those who are not metered should be metered. That is something that has to be given a very high priority.
They decried indiscipline by some Nigerians who deliberately vandalize infrastructure put in place by government only to lament deficit. This, in addition to power theft, they reiterate must be tackled head-on.
A lot more work needs to be done. The DISCOs must be ready to ensure that they are going to deliver that service. Because, for example, if you find out that a DISCO, because this tariff is not just going to be a cane just for the customers alone. It's equally a cane for the DISCOs. Because if they are not able to deliver that service, the level of revenue they need to recoup to generate will not be there.
We are appealing to Nigerians as a whole. Let's come together and ensure that this act of indiscipline, this act of vandalism of power supply infrastructure, energy theft, meter bypass, what have you, it's addressed significantly. And we can only do it if we collectively resolve to fight it.
Metering of electricity consumers, deployment of technology, as well as bringing persons caught circumventing the system to book, they agree will serve as a deterrent and mitigate sabotage. They are optimistic that subsidizing renewables will provide a viable option in the energy mix. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission has directed all electricity distribution companies to ensure that only the newly approved Band A feeders listed in their April 2024 supplementary orders are maintained as Band A for the purpose of vending the prepaid customers and billing for postpaid customers on their networks. In a statement, the Commission also mandates all the distribution companies to immediately post on their website the schedule of approved Band A feeders that have been affected by the new tariff. In addition, all distribution companies are to set up a portal by 10th April 2024 on their website that allows all customers to check their meter or account numbers. Consequently, NEC directs that all customers wrongly billed at the new tariff should be refunded through energy tokens not later than Thursday, 11th April 2024, and the distribution companies are required to file evidence of compliance with the Commission by 12th April 2024. The Commission assures that it will continue to monitor compliance with the new directives. Taking a break here, more reports thereafter. Do join us again.
Our 2 p.m. news now comes up every day, Monday to Friday. Stay with NTA Enugu Network Center.
Moving on, the federal government has commenced the distribution of 40,000 tons of essential food commodities to vulnerable Nigerians across the country. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, flagged off the distribution exercise in Sokoto and appealed to sub-national government to prioritize agriculture for food security. Saluhu Uwanara reports.
It is less than 2 months when the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, amidst high cost of food commodities on behalf of the federal government, promised to unlock the National Strategic Food Reserve as deliberate efforts to close the gap of food shortage among the vulnerable ones due to government policies of economic transformation. Sokoto State, like others across the country, received a total of 26,404 50 kilograms bags of these essential food commodities, including maize, sorghum, and millet, free from the federal government.
I'm glad to also mention that the declining prices and increasing availability of food commodities in various markets across the Federation stems largely from the consistent strategic interventions of the federal government in the past weeks, namely, but not limited to, distribution also of 58,500 metric tons of milled rice, 30,000 metric tons of rice equally procured but warehoused in the interim.
I would want on behalf of government and good people of Sokoto State profoundly appreciate our amiable president for providing assistance to our people when it is most needed.
Members of the federal government delegation, including the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, acknowledged the nationwide exercise as a promise made and kept by a listening government.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said from the onset that whatever he will do, Nigeria and Nigerians will be first. And therefore, much as he's also doing that, he is also investing massively towards the production of agriculture, indeed contributing massively in the entire agricultural value chain so that Nigeria will have a secure future through food security.
20% of the food items due for each local government area should be given to the religious organizations, and 3% to be given to boarding schools in the local government areas.
Sokoto State government equally used the opportunity to complement federal government's gesture by adding rice to the food menu of the vulnerable beneficiaries. From Sokoto, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
World leaders have been urged to prioritize health as human right of every location of status. The WHO country representative, Dr. Walter Kazadi Mulumbo, said this during an awareness walk to sensitize Nigerians on their right to a healthy living. This is said is part of activities to mark this year's World Health Day, stressing that the theme, My Health, My Rights, is apt. The coordinating Minister of Health, Mohammed Ali Pate, represented by the Permanent Secretary, noted that in line with the renewed hope agenda of the present administration, the health sector has been revigorated to ensure universal health coverage for all, starting from the primary health care to the tertiary level. On sports Minister challenges Super Falcons to break Olympic jinx. Details of these and more with Austin Edemodu.
As the Super Falcons of Nigeria prepare to take on Bayana of South Africa in the second leg of the Paris 2024 Olympic Women Football Qualifiers on Tuesday, the Minister of Sports Development, John Eno, has challenged the Super Falcons to break the 16 years jinx which has kept Nigerian female football team out of the Olympics by beating their South African counterparts to the tickets.
Every Nigerian is looking up to coming out strong tomorrow with a clear victory.
Meanwhile, the Super Falcons coach Randy Waldron has assured Nigerians that his team will not let the country down as they hope to give the Banyana of South Africa a run for their money going into the game on Tuesday with a first leg advantage.
We still have to play the second leg, and South Africa are capable of scoring multiple goals as well. So we'd still have to go with the same mindset to go get a result.
Elsewhere, the Nigerian Football Federation has announced the expulsion of two referees, Zaharaddin Nasiru and Usman Awalu, from the ongoing Nigerian National League and general officiating in the country. The referees were in charge of the NNL match between Jigawa Stars and Sporting Supreme on Saturday, where they awarded a goal scored by a Jigawa Star player who threw the ball into their opponent's net with his two hands. In the UEFA Champions League quarter-finals fixtures, Arsenal will be hoping to end their miserable run against Bayern Munich as both teams clash in the first leg encounter at the Emirates on Tuesday. On Wednesday, Kylian Mbappe will hope to continue his impressive scoring form against Barcelona as both teams clash in the first leg quarter-finals of the UEFA Champions League, while Atletico Madrid and Borussia Dortmund will engage in a battle of supremacy in their first leg encounter. With Sports Update, I'm Austin Edemodu, NTA News.
For more on sports, here are the tidbits for today. And that's the much we can take on Newsbelt at 2. On behalf of myself and the production crew, we thank you for joining us. Good afternoon and happy holiday.